All right, let's jump right in. We're going to explore a really fundamental choice that, well, all of us face. Is your life something that just kind of happens to you, or is it something you can actually deliberately design? That's the big question we're digging into. So, does this question hit home for you? You know that feeling, right? Like you're on autopilot, just kind of stuck in a loop that's being run by some invisible default setting. It's that sense that life is happening to you, not for you. Here's the thing. The reality is we are always creating our reality, one way or another. It just really boils down to two different modes. So on one side, you've got unconscious creativity. This is when we're just living by default and life feels like, well, like fate. But on the other side, there's conscious creativity, and that's all about being truly aware of our intentions and deliberately designing the life we actually want. So, what's really behind that feeling of being on autopilot? To get to the bottom of that, we have to uncover this powerful, kind of hidden force that might just be driving your life without you even realizing it. And wow, this quote from Carl Jung just nails it, doesn't it? When we don't take the time to look at the hidden parts of ourselves, they don't just, vanish. Nope. They get in the driver's seat. They take the wheel, they direct our lives, and we just look at the results and shrug and call it fate. And that unaddressed space, that's what's called the shadow. Now, it's not something scary or sinister. It's just the part of our unconscious that's operating in the background, kind of like a program running on your computer, quietly influencing everything we do when we're not paying attention. So how can you tell if the shadow is running the show? Well, it often shows up as these feelings. Apathy, that I just don't care vibe. Constant distraction, that persistent nagging doubt, or that inner critic that just won't shut up. And maybe the biggest one of all, self-sabotage, when you are literally undermining your own happiness. These are all signs that unconscious creativity is at play. Okay, so that's the problem. But here is the really good news. The moment you can see this pattern, everything can change. This is exactly where we pivot from living on autopilot to living with intentional design. This right here, this is the turning point. Becoming aware of that resistance, that doubt, that apathy, it's not a reason to feel bad. It is a moment of pure power. Because the second you see it, a brand new choice opens up. A choice to stop being held back by the past and to start moving in a new, deliberate direction. Okay, so how do we actually make that choice practical? We do it by using a clear, structured framework. It's designed specifically to shift us from that unconscious fate to a conscious design. And it's all built on 6 foundational pillars. And here they are. This is basically a complete roadmap for the whole process. It starts with presence, just getting grounded in who you really are. From there, you identify your core qualities and your values. With that clarity, you can then define your vision and your mission. Next up, you recognize your unique gifts, all your talents, your skills, your experiences. Then, you turn all of that into a plan for action. And finally, you close the loop with appreciation, reflecting on your progress and building that crucial self-value. You see how each step just naturally builds on the last one? All right, now let's get super practical. This isn't just theory, right? We're going to look at a couple of powerful tools you can start using to design your life, like right now. So let's take that final pillar, appreciation. This is so much more than just, being grateful. It's an active practice of reflection and recognition. It's about truly valuing yourself as what's called a creative creature and integrating everything you've done to fuel your next creative cycle. And you can make this totally real by asking yourself powerful questions, just like this one. What can I now let go of that no longer serves me? Because when you release those old views and past hangups, you make room for new possibilities to come in. It's how you stop letting the past write your future for you. Another fantastic tool, which is part of that vision stage, is called the declaration. And it's more than just setting a goal. Think of it as a formal, written commitment that acts like your North Star. It helps you align all your feelings, your thoughts, and your actions to bring about the reality you truly want. So when you put it all together, you can really start to see the path forward. It's a clear shift away from a life that just happens and towards one that we consciously and lovingly create for ourselves. And in the end, it all comes down to this choice, right here. Is your life going to be lived by the default settings of the past, run by that unconscious shadow? Or is it going to be a life that's deliberately designed from a place of authentic awareness, what the framework calls your heart presence, that deep connection to your true self? So the final question isn't whether you're a creator or not. You already are one. The real question is, what are you going to create next? Instead of just letting fate unfold for you, what will you choose to deliberately unfold for yourself?